I should have brought my sunscreen.
Okay, is everything good? Let's see.
Wayfair's Cyber Monday.
Is everything good? Can you guys hear me? Is everything good? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so yeah. Okay. Hey guys. 2-year live stream. Is everybody here? So we have Lorax right now. Hello. Let's see. Do we have anyone else? I'll give you guys a couple of minutes just to see who else is going to join. History Duck, hello, welcome back. Longtime fans I have at the moment. Miles, let's go. Okay, so currently we have 4 people right now. So I guess I'll begin. So again, today with this live stream, it's going to be whatever you guys want to do. If you want to ask me some questions, if like you want to see what's going on in the studio. And actually, we are joined by a special guest, my pet bird called Flash. He's a cockatiel from Australia, and he is super adorable. So anyway, oh yeah, so hello, USS Arizona and Architecto. Hello. So actually, in regards to the Arizona, today I just finished filming my Pearl Harbor movie. So I finished filming it, so now I have to edit it. It's gonna be about 3 minutes long in total, and that'll be out by December 7th. I'm thinking next Saturday to release it, which would be exciting. Probably as a premiere, if not, yeah, I'll probably do it as a premiere. So I'll put up a poll soon asking you guys when you want me to do it. Just that way, we can all see it at the same time. So, do you guys have any questions right now at all? So yeah, Arizona, you're excited. Do you have the Arizona right now by History Doc? No. So again, I live in America, and Cobi just recently started shipping the Arizona from Poland. So I'm gonna wait until it gets to America to actually buy it. I was kind of bummed because I was hoping that they'd release it soon so I could use it by now, so I could actually like use it in my movie. But because of that, it's not going to be in the final film. So my next movie is going to be on the Doolittle's raid. So I'll probably, if I do get it like by the end of the year, then I'll probably use it in that as part of like the American fleet. If not, I'll get it at some point because it's really cool, but it's just a matter of like what am I going to get it for? Because also things like that, it does cost a lot of money. So I can't just like buy everything at once. I know that there's people who have been asking about other like ships and other sets that Cobi has released, but I can't just get everything at the same time. But definitely the Arizona is something I would want. Yeah, Kobe ships are a lot of money. It's not nearly as much money as like Lego. Like when you go to a Lego store, you see that wow, like this tiny little like tree is like $50, or like the White House is $100. But still, it does cost money, which is also why like I don't like promoting like putting it in your face like hey guys like go subscribe to me, or like hey guys like give me money like become a member. But things like the memberships, if anybody is like really into like TreeBark, that stuff does help give me some sort of a budget. But also just because like I'm monetized, I can make some money from my videos, which is also this is gonna be one of the things I want to talk about later, the future of TreeBark for next year. But that's also why this year I've been focusing on a lot of ship stuff, because it's the ship videos that are very unique to TreeBark. Not a lot of stop motion people do it. So that's how I've been able to get more views and thus more money. So that way I can also buy more ship sets to continue that cycle. So History Duck, are you going to get any of the Company of Heroes 3 sets from Kobe? Maybe there's soldier packs. I mean, like the bunker and that stuff, like it is cool. I might get those at some point, but it's also just about like what am I getting it for? Because if I have like some sort of video that it would be useful in, then yes, I would get it. All right, so let's see. We have 4 people right now. Hopefully more people will join us soon. But anyway, just to get one of this like main topics out of the way. So this year, 2022, I basically did like for the most part like 90% ship videos, whether it's the Yorktown Battle of Midway, You have like the sinking of like the USS Indianapolis, the sinking of the Indianapolis Part 2, the Yamato, all that stuff, along with other side things like Top Gun in June for the Top Gun Maverick movie. But at this point, I've honestly kind of run out of like ship ideas. I know that you guys have said stuff, but it's also a matter of like me having the sets to work with. And also just because like I filmed it like so many times, I just don't know how to make like each scene like unique in each movie, like more again, like I guess like unique, but also just so it's like more enjoyable for me to actually like film it. Because then otherwise it just gets boring to a degree, which is why I've been doing like some different things like the Hindenburg, which is a lot of fun. And the Pearl Harbor movie, I focused more on like the aircraft that are like flying around and attacking. So there's going to be like some cool aerial scenes in that. And the Dulos raid, again, like I'll do like the carriers with like the takeoff and so. Um, but yeah, next year, because like it is fun for me to do like different things. Like again, as I was just saying, like tanks, like in my D-Day movie back in June, but those aren't really as, like, popular and, like, being promoted by the YouTube algorithm, so it's just a matter of, like, trying to, like, balance that and the continued growth of the channel. Alright, do you guys have any other questions or anything that you wanna say at the moment? Um, just because, like, again, like, this live stream is run by you guys, um, because I know, like, on some of the past streams, it's actually gone on for, like, 2 or even 3 hours, just because we're able to actually keep it going, and we have a lot of stuff. So I'm not gonna really say how much money I get just for privacy. It's nothing to become like insanely rich. Like I'm not gonna become a millionaire from this, but it is enough to be able to like afford things like when they release like a new Arizona to buy something like that occasionally to like reinvest in the channel just so I have like more things to work with. Um, But it's like a side job. I mean, I do it full time, but it's not like I get an insane amount of money from this. What is a video you really want well, I really want to make? Um, like I have thought about like later in life after I'm 18 and after I graduate, maybe going to like professional Hollywood. I mean, I have like a lot of ideas like that stuff. I mean, that would be really cool to do like a huge like 2-hour movie, like Hollywood style for like the movie theaters. Um, but as for right now, I mean, I'm so actually, I guess I'll talk about the Pearl Harbor. Like Pearl Harbor was something I've been thinking about doing since I actually first started the channel. That's been something that's been like really cool and really interesting for me. But when I started doing it, like, I was trying to figure out, like, okay, like, what do I do for each scene? Because I just get stuck, like, a writer's block, I believe it's called, for, like, authors writing movies. Just like, what do I do now for this? Because, like, I would put the ships together, move the camera around, but it's like, okay, like, how am I gonna do this? Because it also, like, because I can't just do, like, a whole, like, CGI Pearl Harbor in 1941, it's just a matter of, like, actually putting everything together. So that took me a few days to, like, figure out how I want to piece it together and how, like, each scene would play out. But, it's become, like, very enjoyable now. So, Lorax, do you plan ground battles, tanks, infantry, etc.? So again, as I was saying, like I enjoy doing other things, other like different videos other than just ship videos. Like I did my whole like Afghanistan war. I did like a small thing for like Ukraine. I did things like Top Gun. But as for other ground things, as well as I also did like again my D-Day movie, I do enjoy those. I have a lot of fun making those just because again it's like something fresh for me to make. But it's just a matter of, like, will this actually be promoted by YouTube? Because it is really annoying when you pour, like, 2 weeks worth of, like, blood, sweat, and tears into it, and then it gets, like, just, like, a few hundred views as opposed to, like, a ship video, which could really, like even if it doesn't go, like, a huge spike, like, say, like, Top Gun did, it does, like, have a steady growth as opposed to, like, the other stuff, which it'll do, like, well for, like, the first, like, day or two, and then it'll just basically stall out, which is really annoying. Nice. Okay, so now we have 7 people here, so we are growing a bit. So again, hello everybody. For those who are new here, it's the 2-year anniversary live stream of when I first started my channel. So today it's going to be like Q&A, me talking about the channel. If you guys want to see what's going on in the studio, I can show you like around a bit. It's kind of messy a bit. But really, this is run by you guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I can talk about with you. And yeah, Captain Alex. Okay, check out this post-World War II horror game. What do you think? Um, I would need to see what that game is. I don't know what. I mean, there's a lot of like post-World War II like horror games. But if you have like the title for it, I can look it up quickly. Okay, history doc. Video suggestion. Fall of the Berlin Wall. Yeah, actually, that'd be a hold on. When did the wall fall? I think that was in late November, I think. Yeah, that's actually a good idea because I could build that. Oh yeah, that was November 9th, actually. Oh, so that's a shame. I could have like tried to squeeze in like the anniversary. But yeah, definitely that's probably gonna go on. That'd probably be like the first video I do of 2023, just because like sorry about that. Just because this Pearl Harbor movie, I'll finish this completely by December 7th, and then after that, I'd be doing my Doolittle movie. So that'd probably take me into mid-December, maybe towards like the later half. So if I could film if I could film the Berlin movie, then I could try to squeeze that in before like Christmas, before I go on vacation. And then maybe I could do that for like a New Year's or something. But definitely that's a good idea. Okay, so USS Arizona, I have a suggestion of my own. The air raid against HMS Prince of Wales and Repulse. Yeah, so let me just look up what those ships look like. HMS Repulse, and then HMS Prince of Wales. Yeah, so again, those are good ideas, and honestly, I haven't looked up so much about that. I would have to do more research into it just so I can see. Yeah, my throat's getting a bit dry. Just so I can see like what the battle was, so I can plan out. World War II. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. Um, but it's just also a matter of like I don't want every single video to be like the same thing because like I do like USS Missouri versus like Yamato, but then if I just like swap like the names of it, it's just like I want each video to be fresh, something new, something unique, something that stands out. And also so it's more entertaining for me. But definitely I would look into that and I would probably do it at some point. It's definitely on the list. Retrospector drip. Yes. Captain Alex, no, you read that wrong. I mean, you make a you want me to make a horror game or like a horror video of World War II. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could do that. Like I did my haunted, what was it, the haunted Bismarck for Halloween. Um, yeah, I could probably because I have thought of stuff like that with like say like some soldiers in the middle of a forest, and, like a dinosaur attacks them, or like some zombie. I could definitely do something like that. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I could. Miles is asking, what can Flash do? So again, for those who are new here, for those who have just joined me, today we are today we are joined by my Australian cockatiel named Flash. Um, but I mean, there's not really much Flash can do. Like because you can't like for stop motion, like you'd have them like stand completely still, then you take a photo and you move them like very slightly, take a photo, move slightly, take a photo, move slightly, take a photo. So it gives that illusion of movement, but with a bird, they just kind of like do their own thing, so I can't control them. But I mean, he's nice. He's like some nice like moral support. He'll stand next to me or even on my shoulder. Alex is asking, has Kobe ever reached out to you or commented on your channel? So, unlike what some people have thought in the past, like I know that one guy once thought this, I am not partnered with Kobe. I'm a completely independent person. I just make stuff using their products the same way that any Lego creator is not associated or not always associated with Lego. I do share my stuff on their like Facebook pages and their community groups. They do know who I am. I think like they definitely have like liked my videos and like shown support, but there's no like official relationship or partnership going on. But it would be cool like to be an actual like partner, but or actually like there was this like Chinese Lego knockoff company that had once approached me earlier this year to be like a partner with them, but I looked at them and I just didn't really it was kind of sketchy. I didn't want to become like a sponsor of them at all. Just because there's a lot of stuff with like the quality and so I didn't want to be associated with that. Arizona is saying no pressure. Yeah, it's definitely on the list, and I'll probably do it at some point. It's just a matter of me like trying to like, especially after I do like more tank videos or airplane videos. So like come back to this with like a new like headset. It would definitely be something I want to do with the HMS Repulse. So Kim is asking what inspires your videos. So I mean, like, I was to go back to the very origins of TreeBark, for a long time, for like a couple of years prior, like 2 or 3 years, I've had a lot of Kobe sets. I've been like collecting them and I would play with them for like more like fun stuff. But after a while, I just became a bit bored, like stagnant. And I've always been inspired by like different like stop motion videos on YouTube, especially those get like millions of views. So I thought like, I'll try this with my Kobe sets. So I created like my little like 5 second like Africa spy movie, and I like that, so I decided to keep creating. But then as for my individual videos, sometimes it'll be a more like a popular like pop culture, like some like historical event that's going on. Um, but otherwise, like it's just like either what you guys suggest to me or like what I think of on my own, or if there's like some historical event that's coming up. Okay, so history duck. Kobe did make a Berlin Wall set. Yeah, it's out of production. Yeah, that was years ago. I actually once tried to get it, but I think that there was only like one or two that were in the US and they were like very expensive, so it just wasn't worth it. And also it's a shame because if you try to purchase something directly from the Kobe website, it's like a it's like a it's an exaggeration, but it's like a $500 like shipping fee. So it's very expensive to buy directly from them because they have a number of sets that are only sold in Europe or in Poland itself. So I don't have access to those. Captain Alex, yeah, like the dead Germans that were killed by the Allies seeking revenge. Yeah, I mean, like I know that. Let's see, who was it? LCM Brick Show. I know that he did like a no, 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 I'm forgetting the name. Um, it was like the Revenge of the Dead, like during World War One, when like the Germans used like gas on the Russians, and then the Russians all like started attacking back, and they all just charged them as they were literally like dying from the gas. But definitely, I could do something like that at some point. History doc, video suggestion: the first tank battle since in April. It's gonna be. Oh, that's gonna be April. Yeah, so I do like from my 100 Days Offensive from World War One, last year November for Veterans Day actually, I did create some like custom like let's see the Mark IV, I did the Renault FT light tank and the Saint Chamond. I do have like some World War One tanks, so I could do that. I would have to create a custom like A7V if yeah, A7V German tank, but, yeah, I mean, I could do that at some point. I know that, let's see, what's his name? What is it, like, JD Brick Productions? Yeah, he did a video on that. So, yeah, I mean, I could that would definitely be on the list. Actually, thanks for telling me that it's in April. So Kimberly's asking, why is it so expensive to buy direct from Kobe? So again, the main reason that I said is that it's because of the shipping fees. Because like, and this is just from my understanding from it, I guess it's because like with the like custom imports and yeah, I mean the imports like what's it called? Tariffs and that stuff that all raise the price on it. So I could imagine that that has something to do with it, but also just because like when you put like an individual order that has like go all the way from like Poland to America, it just gets a bit expensive. Okay, let's see. Yeah, TreeBark, love your channel. Can't believe 2 years now. Yeah, I mean, it is amazing that this is going on for 2 years. I started again 2 years ago, so a lot has changed then, but I still enjoy this. I'm definitely gonna be doing this for another 2 years. Um, and I can't believe just how well this channel has grown over the year, well, 2 years now. And actually, we are getting like I was hoping that we would hit like 10,000 subscribers by New Year's, but I think that would probably be like the end of January now. But also, just another announcement. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I will do a special live stream for that. It's like every 5,000 subscribers is a special live stream. All right, so do you guys have any other questions or comments? Do you want to see like the studio where I'm filming right now? Do you want to see anything like actually for my Pearl Harbor movie, I'll show this right now. This is one of the B-17s I've been using because during the Battle of Pearl Harbor, there's actually some B-17s that are flying in from the mainland in California to Pearl Harbor, and they were actually mistaken by the radar. No, so there's a radar station on Hawaii that actually picked out the Japanese airplanes as they were flying in, and they thought that those were just these B-17s that were supposed to arrive on the same day. So in the movie, the Japanese actually end up attacking and firing at the B-17s, causing a few of them to be damaged. And there's actually some fire pieces that I had like on the engine because the engine explodes and catches fire. No, I'll fix that later. Okay, does YouTube send out tips on how to improve your reach? Yeah, I mean, they will like send out like generic emails on how to do that stuff. Like on the YouTube Studio, you can see analytics for practically everything. I can see like when it sounds kind of creepy, but like I can see like when like my audience is on YouTube when there's more people on it. Um, I can see also like the demographics, like the age, like how it's split by age range or like gender and all that stuff. So those things, and I can see like yeah, like what videos do best, what other videos and channels you guys watch. That way, I can make my content more relevant to all of you. Um, but also, I've watched like other YouTube channels such as vidIQ that put out like tutorials and tips on how to improve it. But yeah. Captain Alex, what are your thoughts on the disrespectful Titanic movie 666? I have not seen that. From what I've heard, it's one of those like cringy Titanic movies that they just like stamp Titanic on it. That way they get a bunch of views. I've never seen it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. But it just sounds like another one of those like dumb things. Like there's I mean, like, just because, like, you have, like, a big organization, like, there's other stuff, like, Ancient Aliens from, like, the History Channel that gets a lot of, like, controversy just because the whole idea of, like, aliens and so things with, like, the Pyramid of Giza. It's just one of those, like, strange things, but I've never seen it, so I don't have an opinion on it. That just sounds dumb. Alright, History Doc. Have you ever heard of the SS Eastland? She was a Great Lakes. Oh yeah, the Great Lakes. So yeah, I'm actually on my last live stream. I remember that you guys were asking me about Great Lakes things, such as the Edmund Fitzgerald. Um, yeah, I mean, I would definitely want to do stuff like that. She was a Great Lakes cruise ship that capsized and killed around 800 people. So actually, I've not heard of that, but hold on, let me look it up to see what it looks like. SS Eastland. Oh wow, that was in 1915. Actually, I could do this. I mean, it has like a yeah. I mean, like I could use my Titanic set and modify that to make it look like the Eastland. I could do that. Yeah, maybe I would do that sometime. But then also like things like the Emmett Fitzgerald. I would definitely want to do that, but something like that is more complex because I would have to make most likely I'd have to make like a custom ship, which I guess for its like generic body, that wouldn't be that bad. But then things like the waves, because it's sunk in an ocean, that would be very complex to do. So I would have to figure out like that out just so it looks like nice and realistic. Yeah, there's a model of it, but it's $700. I what's it from, like, Histobrick? Like, I know that he gets, like, actual, like, custom he gets, like, actual Lego pieces, and then, like, he assembles it himself, and he sells out individual kits, but, yeah, it's a lot of money, so I'm not buying that. Will you do a Lego stop motion version of The Mummy? I don't think so, I mean, that's not, like, my focus. And I've never seen The Mummy actually, but maybe sometime at some point I will do it, but it's unlikely. Star says hello. Hello, Star. How are you? Super Zucker 3000. Mega blocks are better than Lego. No, I go with Lincoln Logs. Okay, Lorix XYZ. What are your rarest Kobe figures? I mean, I don't exactly know about like rarest. I mean, I have a lot of stuff just because I've collected them for a while now. Like I have things like I've never really been into like Kobe's like limited edition, like ABC, because they come out with a limited edition for basically everything. And then they just create like basically they just add like an extra minifigure to it and then like stamp on a limited edition and like mark it up by like 50%. I've never really been to that stuff, but I have things like the executive edition, like no, it was a limited edition Captain Smith for the Titanic in the 1/450th scale. I guess something like that, but I don't really know about, like, rare. I guess hopefully that answers your question. Captain Alex says, "I recommend The Mummy to watch." I mean, let me look it up because excuse me. Mummy. What's it, a TV show? Wait, is that a movie? Yeah, it's a movie. Hold on. A cursed high priest with supernatural powers. Yeah, I mean, that's not exactly my focus, but, maybe I'd watch it sometime. I've been wanting to watch the new Netflix, like, All Quiet on the Western Front movie, because I read the book, like, a year ago, and it's really good. It's a really good book to read. Okay, Hubby AG says, "Are you planning more tank movies? I watched Furry." No, not I always call it Furry. Fury the other day, a great flick. So as I was saying for Lure XXYZ, I definitely do want to do that, but it's just a matter of because I enjoy it. It's just a matter of like when you pour all that effort into it and then you upload it, and it's just another one of those Lego tank battles because there's basically a million of those. It's just a matter of actually getting like it promoted by YouTube because if it doesn't perform well, it's not really great incentive for me to do it because I don't really get other than, like, personal pleasure out of it, I don't really, like, benefit from it. And then also, like, people like, fans of the channel, like, subscribers, if they don't watch it, they lose interest in the channel, and then the channel basically just stalls and could even, like, decline. USS Arizona. I have a suggestion for a different type of videos. Mini documentaries like Maritime does. Designs, specifications, names, origins of the ship, and maybe their service history. So, yeah, maybe you like that accent. Um, I mean, maybe I would do that again. If I were to do that, I'd probably actually just create another YouTube channel because that's not exactly the focus of this channel. Just because this is more like stop motion, like videos and battles and stuff, as opposed to more like educational things like that. Like I have like had an interest in that to a degree for some time, but if I were to do that, I'd just do it as a different channel because otherwise people who subscribe to this channel subscribe for TreeBark content. They don't subscribe to this for that stuff, so I'd make it dedicated for that. Fury was actually based off a real tank that got stuck in no man's land. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there was I know there's a World War One version of it by Mark Felton Productions. He did a video on that was it the Mark IV tank? It got like it lost like its track and it got like stuck and it was basically surrounded by like 1,000 German soldiers. But yeah, yeah, okay. Then we can leave maritime, the documentaries. Yeah, I mean, again, maybe I would consider doing it at some point, but if I were to do that, I'd do it as a dedicated, separate channel. Like this is called Tree Bark Productions, so maybe like Tree Bark History or Tree Bark Stories, maybe something like that, just so it's like a separate channel that's dedicated to that. Okay, so let's see. We've been going for 30 minutes now, so that's actually very nice. Is there anybody new here? Again, hello, I'm TreeBark. You're seeing me live right now. Any other questions? Okay, Arizona. I've been thinking about doing that, but with school, it's a bit hard. Yeah, so again, like you do have to balance school and like side hobbies, like with this. Especially now that I'm in high school and you get like, depending on your subject, like you'll get more homework or you'll get like sometimes like 10 tests on one day. You do have to balance stuff out, but it should be manageable. Like when you put stuff in like the bigger picture, like if you're say watching like a YouTube video for like an hour a day, that could be an hour that instead of doing that, you could make your own video. I don't know your life obviously, but there's always time to do something. Yeah, I'm like balancing time is key. Anything else from any of you guys? Do you guys want to like me to show you like a tour of the studio a bit? Do you want to do like any like let's see, trivia or something? Because again, this is just run by you guys. So if you guys have nothing to say, anything else, I can close out right now. You guys want to see Flash? Oh, he's really adorable. Oh, he's trying to sleep. Oh, he's so cute. He's such a beautiful bird. I've actually been watching a lot of bird videos lately. They're so adorable. Okay, so history duck, best Kobe set of this year to you. So let's see, this year specifically, um, I don't really know. I mean, they have a lot of cool stuff. I'm just trying to like mentally put together because I'll buy like a set from like 2 years ago, like today, and then I'll get it. Let's see, I'm just trying to figure out what sets were released this year because the let's see, so we have the F-14, that was last year. That was really cool. The Arizona's this year. That's something I've been looking forward to for a while. I guess probably the Arizona because that's something actually their armed forces stuff like their modern jets. Those are really cool. Like especially things like they have the Blackhawks now. They have the F-16, and they actually just released the F-35. Those are actually really cool. So again, I'd probably if I were to do more jet videos, I'd probably get more things like that. But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of cool stuff. Like their quality, if you look at what they were doing like 5 years ago, you can see a huge difference. Even like 3 years ago, you can see a huge difference because they've really improved. Okay, how do you do your custom ships? Like the Britannic Lusitania. So those basically what I did is so I'll start with the Lusitania. So that was yeah, that was like yeah, that was what was it? No, it was September of 2021. So that was over a year ago. So for that one, I basically took my Titanic set and then I just like modified it a bit. I moved the funnels like well, I moved the funnels closer to the bow and then like more like compact as the actual ship. Then I like fiddled with like the rudder and I added on the fourth propeller, just basically modifying it so it would look more like the Lusitania. And then for the Britannic, if you I have a video on how to build your own like Britannic that you can watch. I would recommend it for you since you have an interest in that. But for the Britannic, basically, I got like two Titanics, then I cannibalized them for extra pieces, and I got a lot of white pieces from other sets, and I basically just like rebuilt it all white for that. But I would recommend you watch that video just because that video explains basically how to do it. Okay, so let's see. History.Kobe's minifigures long time ago were curse looking. I mean, like when if you're a Lego person and you first see a Kobe figure, like to see that on them. Just give me a second. To see that these guys actually have like noses is kind of creepy, just because they look so different from a Lego minifigure. That's just something that you have to like adjust and get used to. But like these days, I mean, I like them, but also Kobe's like female. Hold on, let me pull up a photo of it. Because Kobe's like female minifigures, those are extremely creepy. It looks like they came from like a horror movie or something. Let me just pull it up for you all. Like even today, like some, I hope that they just like do what Lego does, just like the hair to show that it's a lady, but it's just really creepy. Kobe minifigure images. Yeah, I mean stuff like this. It just looks creepy. Like compare that to like Legos down here. It just looks much more normal. Or then like even compared to just like a generic like guy. I mean, it looks much creepier. Yeah, I mean, it is scary. So let's see, Arizona. I've got honors math, robotics honors, science, the science honors, civics occasionally, and band. I've also been thinking about changing instruments, so weekends would be my best times for videos. Paired with dinner, not much time. Yeah, I'm it sounds like you're in high school, same with me. But yeah, I mean, like, especially if you're taking all honors things, it can take up a lot of time, especially with things like homework. That's why I've tried to have like one study lab per day or like one free period just so I can really like do as much of that as possible in school. So once I get home, I can focus on my movies. But yeah, I mean, it does take up a lot of time. Oh, you're in 7th grade. Okay. Well, that's actually sounds like a lot for 7th grade. I mean, congratulations for like doing a lot of stuff. Hopefully that pays off because again, you have to like know like obviously like your like preferences will change, but you have to like know like what you're interested in, like do what you enjoy, especially from like hobbies and that stuff. And this is just my personal life advice. Because if you do things like that, then you have like a real passion, a drive for it, and hopefully later on in life, it'll lead to you doing things like that that you enjoy, like say become a professional like Steven Spielberg, something like that. Then all this stuff, it's basically years of like practice and experience. But yeah, I mean, again, congratulations. It sounds like you're doing a lot of good things. Captain Alex, have you read the book Tail and Charlie? Hold on, let me look that up. I've not read that. Oh, it's a Marine. Hotel and Charlie's, the bombers? No, I've never read that, but it sounds interesting. It's about a World War II pilot that got shot down and then captured and taken to a German camp. So I've never read the book, but I have like seen movies like that. there's like some movie like Stalag like 15 that's like based inside of a German like prisoner of war camp. But it does sound interesting. I'd probably read it at some point, maybe like over the summer. There's like a lot of like good books to read. I history doc. I recently went to an air museum and got to see a real B-17 bomber. Yeah, like when you go to museums and like military or just like aviation in general, it's really cool. Like you see that these things are like huge, and it's honestly like freaky imagining like seeing those above your city. Like in times of peace, it's like, oh yeah, that's really cool, like impressive. But in times of war, it's like, oh my god, that thing's gonna drop a bunch of bombs on me. That's kind of scary. And then yeah, it was didn't you say that you're like history like obviously privacy like reasons, but didn't you say that you were like in Texas, I think, or that may have been somebody else? Yeah, in Texas there was that unfortunate like B-17 like crash the other day, like a other week. There's that plane that collided into, which was really sad. All right, let's see. You guys have anything else that you want to ask? Um, Again, do you want to like see the studio or anything? Oh no, but I mean, okay. I just have somebody else. Let's see. Let's see. Is there anything I want to discuss? So I've kind of like blabbled and like yambled along about like next year, like future video ideas. I've talked about like Pearl Harbor. I've talked about like Duelist Raid. Okay, so which is longer, filming or editing? Definitely. I mean, I guess it depends. Like if you're doing like a 10-second video, it doesn't take that much time to do. But in general, filming takes longer because editing, it's like, okay, like this is like a nice. So filming, so let's say it's like a 2-minute video, like a minute and a half. That would probably take 2 weeks to make in total, probably like a week and a half of actually filming it, and then like 2 to 3 days of editing it. Because with the editing, and I've shared like screenshots and stuff like that, but it also depends on like the video. Like if I'm doing like say a car driving along, then it's just like car moves, maybe camera moves with it, car moves, camera moves. It's a lot simpler as opposed to say it's like just like some just like explain it. Like if I have a minifigure, I have to move the arm, I have to move like the legs, the arms, I have to move maybe the head. Just there's a lot more like pieces and points of interaction that I have here, so it makes it a lot more complex. Or then say it's like an airplane that I have to suspend in air, then I have to create that whole rigging. Um, but actually, for my Yamato movie, that was a lot of editing. If you watch the behind the scenes, you saw that I had to like manually erase all of the rigging for that, so that way it wouldn't show, and you would think that it's actually in the air. But in general, filming takes a lot longer. This summer, I got to go inside an M4A1 E8 EZ8 Sherman. That's actually cool. Yeah, I think it was like a couple years ago I got to do that at some point. But I mean, yeah, it's really cool. And hey, maybe if I end up owning a couple million, like $10 million someday, you could own your own Sherman tank. Yeah, that's really cool. Was it, well, History Doc, was it still like driving capable, like operational, or was it just like a display, a static display? Because I know that there's some like they'll have it, yes. Yes, driving or a yes? Okay, I'm gonna guess that's yes, driving. Okay, I'm gonna assume that. But yeah, I mean, it is cool. Yes, it could. Okay, okay, so it could drive. Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos of them, and it's obviously really cool. And just to see the whole like history, and to think that 80 years ago, like those things were like the best technology in the world, and to really just see how far we've come in like just less than a century. Like you go back 100 years, like most people didn't like see an airplane at all, like the little biplane like 100 years ago, most people actually like never drove a car, right? Never left their like local town. And today, you could be anywhere in the world within a day. So that's really crazy. Oh, and it could still fire. Oh, wow, that is really cool. Yeah, who is it? Demolition Ranch. who like was like blowing things up with a tank at one point. Yeah, that stuff is really cool. Captain Alex, I saw that midair crash. That was insane. There was a Yeah, it's always sad, like especially to know that just like some innocent people were there. It's just a complete freak accident. Like you and like on a separate note, like you read things like throughout history, like famous like museum was bombed during World War II, and then like you have like priceless relics that are completely obliterated and like just forever lost. Or like there's things like I was reading the other day, like no, it was like MGM, the film studio, and they had like thousands of films from the 1920s in their vault, and it caught fire in the 60s when it was all just like the original copies before they had like all like the Library of Congress and much more like strict protocols. But there was a major fire and it destroyed like half of the films there, and it was just like thousands of movies from the silent era, the 1920s and earlier, that were forever lost because I mean, as of now, there's no more copies known. But yeah, again, I saw that video of the B-17, and that was I couldn't imagine being there, just watching literally somebody fall to their death, and you can't do anything about it. Same place I saw also at a P-51 and an A-10. Yeah, those are really cool, especially the A-10, the bird plane. Boom. Okay, so let's see. So we have 8 people right now. Let's see if we can get this live stream to 1 hour because that would be cool. Um, so again, is there anything else that you guys want to ask me? Is there anything like that you want to talk about? Do you want again like you want to see like the studio at all? We have right here. And yeah, I brought up some like historical hats if you want to look at it. Well, let's get on that tour. Okay. May 10 actually fly over my house. Wow. So I'm gonna guess that you live near some sort of military base if you see that. Like every now and again I'll see like some military jet or helicopter fly by, or like I'll just be at my house and all of a sudden I hear like a lot of like shaking, like the big like thudder of like the propellers and blades. Yeah, that is really cool. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this whole. So we're gonna go on the tour now. So this here is the studio. This is where I make all of my movies. So this is the blue and the green screen that I'll basically just like mask away. So that way it looks like a background, like I can make it the ocean. I can make it say like a city, like for my Hindenburg movie. That's how I made it look like the Hindenburg was actually like immersed in like New York City in 1930. Um, and actually right here, this is where it's filming. Let me just make sure you all can see this. Oh, hold on. All right, stream is still good. Well, I had a little accident. So right here, this is what I was just filming, my final scene for my Pearl Harbor movie. It was basically the P-40 Warhawk was like on the runway, and there's like the Jeep driving next to it, so it was moving along. So you can see here, like the background, I could make it look like Pearl Harbor and stuff. And then over here are the ships that I brought in to make it look like the actual Pacific Fleet from 1941. Again, like as you guys will point out, hey, that's the Bismarck. Why is the Bismarck with like an American flag? Because again, I used it to represent that, which is again like you go and you look through the whole like historical like the history of like stop motion films in general, and you see movies from like the 1960s or even like through like the 70s and 80s. Like you have Patton, for example, and like Patton is basically attacking a bunch of like American tanks that have German markings on them because they're supposed to represent that. Because back in the day, that was the best that they had to just represent it with something that's actually a modern tank standing in for that time. So this is like the main area. This is not the like studio itself, but this is just where I like keep my other sets here. This is actually a new thing that I got, the Lego Jurassic Park. So I definitely have been thinking about doing an actual Jurassic Park thing. Not everything could be 100% accurate. Yeah, the 1997 Titanic film. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I had $1 billion budget from like Hollywood, I could get like all these professional things. I could have a whole team. But for what I do, it works. It does its job, and it's a lot of fun to like improvise and creativity. So these are some of the lights that I use to help illuminate the area so it looks nice. Um, and then hold on, give me a second. And then over here, like I know that you guys have been asking about like tank and ground videos. So these are the 1/48 tanks that I have from Cobi, including like this is actually one of my custom World War One tanks, the FT-17. So that's where I keep those guys. And then like if you see my videos, oh yeah, thanks. Lorax, nice tanks. Yeah. So if you see my videos like the behind the scenes, like the building of the D-Day diorama, for that, I'll show you that in a moment. But like this is basically just like my hold on. This is basically where I have all of my like pieces from. Like that's all I sort them by color. So that's all the gray pieces. That was like the rocks, that was the bunkers, and just like generic stuff. Um Here I have like a bunch of black pieces. Beneath that, a bunch of like dirt or like sand pieces, like ground. I have just two Shermans and 1/40th. Yeah, I mean, like what I like about the 1/48ths is that they actually minifigure scale. So if I show them together in the same video, they look nice together as opposed to like their standard tanks, which look like complete gods, dwarfing the minifigures. And they're also a lot cheaper. But yeah, the Shermans. Do you have like the standard Sherman? Because like they have because Kobe loves to release like a billion versions of stuff. They'll have like the Sherman, then the Sherman EZ8, and then the Sherman from like this company, and then they'll have like the Sherman, but it's actually like the desert color. That's something that they like to do that I've noticed, which makes sense. Like it's a lot easier to release the same thing, both like a different marking, than to create a whole new thing. And especially like with like prices, it helps like keep those down. I have an F4U Corsair model in 1/48 scale. Is that a Cobi Corsair or is that just a generic model? Yeah, I mean, those are all cool. And I know that there's people who use like standard models. Oh yeah, not Kobe. I know that there's people who use like well actually now that I'm asking, did you like have to build it or is it one of those pre-built models? Because those like the ones that you have to build, those are like very cool. And it's a lot of effort and skill that goes into that. Just because of actually I once had like a Yorktown model. This is actually like an inside joke in my family because I got it, I think it was a gift when I was like 6 years old. And it was like one like thousandth scale. Oh yeah, built it, but no painting or glue. And this one was one of those like professional models, and you had to work with like tweezers to put the stuff together. So basically, like with my dad, I would do like a one step like every month, and then we just kind of like forgot about it for like a couple of years. Then we'd do like another like step, but then like it really never got done at any point. And then like later on, my brother decided that he would just like do it all within a week, and he basically built the whole thing. But it's very like hard and like complex to make. So I have a lot of respect for those like professional model people. Okay, so continuing along with our tour, the professional tour, by your guy, TreeBark Productions himself, 1/1000th. Yeah, I mean it was really small, like really compact. So this right here, I have to clean this place up. Yeah, right here is my whole. Oh yeah, there's a bin of Lego minifigures, and there's a bin of Kobe minifigures. Right here, this is the D-Day. Hopefully, you guys can see this well. This is my D-Day diorama. I have since covered up most of the trenches because this is also what I used for my Hindenburg movie. So this is where like the airfield was. So you can see right here, these are all like in a suspicious, like straight and organized line. Because beneath that, that's the trench. And I've since removed like the bunkers and that stuff for the Hindenburg movie. All right, Lorax, but I prefer 1/28th because the tanks in the scale are more detailed and more moving parts. Yeah, like back when I was playing with them before I did like all of my stop motion movies, that's what I got just because like the bigger, so like the cool and you have like all those moving pieces. But yeah, I mean it's everybody's preference. I do like those, but it's just for what I do nowadays, it doesn't make sense for me to spend money on those. Um, just because yeah, I mean it doesn't make sense to get this for me. Okay, USS Arizona. Understandable. It's like my custom Lego ships. I want to make them in a bigger scale to create bigger dimensions and detail. Yeah, I'm also like for custom stuff, like with my Hindenburg for that. And I could bring that in if you guys want to see that. I could bring in like the Britannic. But for that, like initially, I was thinking like, oh wow, it's gonna be like this huge thing. It'll be like life size almost. But then it ended up becoming this really tiny thing. But also like which then I had to like work with just so it looks like it's bigger in the final video. But yeah. Yeah, like again, like with the custom sets, like you have to get your own like pieces and so and like I try not to like cannibalize other sets. That's something that kind of makes me sad because once you cannibalize it, it's hard to put it back together to get all the pieces. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun and like really impressive to say, hey, like I actually made this on my own. I came up with this. History Doc asks, what's the oldest Kobe set you have? So the oldest one that I have would probably be my Panther tank, my winter Panther tank from Kobe that I got in like what was it, 2018 or so? That came out a while ago. I've since cannibalized like some pieces from it, like especially the white pieces for my Britannic. But this is what remains of it. I've used it in some of my older movies, such as I know I used it in my like oh yeah, there's my Hindenburg. I used it in the like Soviet ambush video from like what was it, February? Yeah, it was like February of like 2021. Um, and let's see. Oh yeah, I used it in my Panther 1944 movie, which is actually the second video I ever made for TreeBark. But yeah, I mean, it was actually like one of my favorite sets because especially among like Kobe's. Here, let me just. I'll put this down right here. Oh yeah, and right here, um, this is actually the inflatable mattress I'll use. I'll toss like a little like blanket on it, and then now it's like a whole ocean. That's what I'll put the ships on. That way it looks more like water and so. And the stuff on the walls, like back when I was in nursery school, like 10 or so years ago, we do like little like arts and crafts and stuff, and then I put it on the wall. So that's from then. And yeah, this is my Hindenburg right here. So you can see it's not like an insanely large set, but from like a way that you can like film a movie, you can like zoom in on it and make it look like bigger. Okay, so I'll put that here for now. USS Arizona. I've got a battleship cruiser and a light carrier that can convert into a Oh, it's like a 2-in-1 or like a 3-in-1. Is that what you're saying? Like those, like 2-in-1s. Those are also cool. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much for me to say about that. Here's Flash again, my bird. Okay. Oh yeah, yes, with minor disassembly. Okay, Captain Alex, can you give us a demo for those learning stop motion? You can use one of the tanks. Um, I mean, you want me to do it right now in the live stream? Because otherwise, I could create like a tutorial video. But as for like, I mean, I have the tanks over there. So I have a tank here. No, I don't have a tank right within arm's reach. But really, like, let me just quickly do this with a Jeep. And actually, I can show you this in a quick second. Well, let me put the minifigure there. And I'll move the camera right there. So right here, this is where I'm going to do it quickly. So with whatever device, and this is just a quick like demo, with whatever device you're using, in this case, I got like the iPhone. I used to have like a very old, I used to have a very old iPad that I used, but I since was able to upgrade to the iPhone just because its camera is amazing and it's allowed me to do a lot more that I could never do with the iPad. But basically, like what you do is you have like, and depending on like what you're actually filming your style is, like you take a photo, click, you move it slightly, click, move it slightly, click, and you just repeat that cycle over and over. There's like things like slowing down as opposed to like move, 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 and then stop. Like you want to gradually ease in and ease out just so it looks more realistic. And I film at this standard 15 frames per second. That means for just 1 second of footage, I have to take 15 individual photos. So it's a lot of work. But also, like if you want to make something more complex or something that looks a lot nicer, let me actually open up the stop motion app on my phone just so it looks like more authentic. Stop motion. Okay. So if you want like the camera moving within, in this case, a tracking shot, I'll move like, and actually what you can do is you can take some putty in a Lego piece. Yeah, give me, yeah. So you can put like a Lego piece down. This way you can measure out how far you want your thing to move. Because the big thing about stop motion is making it look smooth. So that way you want like each interval to be the same. So it's like nice as opposed to like more like jagged. And it's like a big jump and then a slow one. Because then when you play in the final result, it'll be like, it just doesn't look that good. So you can use the Lego piece and you can be like, okay, I want it to move like 3 studs. So then 1, 2, 3, and then you move it that much. And then you just basically repeat that measurement so the shot looks nice. And again, for a tracking shot, like you move the car a bit and then you move the phone like the same distance. That way it looks like the car is staying in place while like the world around is actually moving. Or then you can do things like the car is like driving by, and then like as it drives by, you basically are like rotating the camera to get like let me try to do it from this side so you can see it from like the camera perspective right here on the screen. But you can get like the car from like different angles as the phone basically follows it. And again, like you guys, you don't need like a whole expensive budget. Like when you see this is my stand, and it's really just a cutout Lego box because I just cut it like on a 90-degree angle here, and then you slip the phone in, and it holds it steady. Oh shoot! Yeah, I mean you're supposed to put it on the ground, obviously. Oh yeah, this is all fine. Yeah, but like you put on the ground, and then this way the camera is steady, so that way it's not like a huge like shake or anything like from handheld. And then again, like because I do everything, it's not like professional, but it gets the job done, and it has the same look. Just give me a second. Here, let me just move this down onto the ground quickly. But like you can actually like build like your stand from Legos and all that stuff. It's all about like the customization, but you can create like something like a stand like this. So that way, instead of just like a ground view of it, you can actually change the angle by slipping like a Lego piece under it. So now it looks like you're almost looking up on the car. So it's one of those like low angle views, like an impressive like king, almost like something like that, as opposed to just a generic like eye level view, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, this is all fine. Yeah, this is my homepage image of banana. It's something. Yeah, that was like actually the first photo I took of it when I got it. So let's see. We have yeah, Arizona. I did that. History duck. I was able to find a Kobe Higgins boat on eBay. Yeah. Did they stop the production of Higgins boat? Because I mean, I have one that I got like like 2 or 3 years ago that I got that I've used in some things like my D-Day movie. But I mean, it's a nice set, the Higgins boat. Unfortunately, I destroyed what's it called? The metal bars that are all like the metal bars that are all like connected. That's like a anti-tank obstacle. Let me look this up. Anti-tank obstacle. Yeah, Czech hedgehog or dragon's teeth. Yeah, that's what it's called, the hedgehog. Unfortunately, I destroyed that, so the pieces are just like scattered around as individual bits. That's cool. Did you buy Kobe from a secondhand used? No, I've never bought Lego used. I mean, like every now and again, like you'll go to like a friend's house or something. It's like, hey, I got like this huge bin of Legos. You want some? And I'll be like, okay. But I don't buy stuff like that just because I get nervous that it's like you are missing like some pieces or so when you buy it. And it's just never been something I've done. Like I know a lot of people who do that and like they always have like a great experience, but it's just not something for me. Also, like the Kobe market in the US is very small. It's not like Lego. You can say like, "Hey, you guys have like used Legos to sell?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I got like a billion of those." If you say like Kobe, people look at you like, "What? You mean like that basketball player who died?" No, people like I wish if Kobe were to promote stuff in the US more, like an advertisement on TV or like because they do like partnerships and they make very high quality sets like for Top Gun. I wish if they were promoted more, like, in stores or, like, in, like, advertisements, because then, like, they would really become insanely popular in America and other countries. Let me just plug this in just because the camera will burn the battery. Plugging in. Plugged in. Hold on, that's the wrong. Oh, alright, it's fine. Alright, so Captain Alex, this may sound crazy, but what are you gonna do for 1 million subs? It's far I know. So I guess maybe just another live stream. Unless my channel goes viral with every single video and I get like 1,000 subscribers a day, 1 million subscribers is not something that's gonna be happening for years now. Maybe not even for another 10 years. I really couldn't say. Like maybe I don't know what I'll be. Maybe I'll be like 30 years old or something, and it'll be like I don't know, but that would be very exciting to hit 1 million subs. Because also, what's it? Once you hit 100,000 subscribers, that's when you get like the silver play button. For those who don't know, the silver play button is like a literal like it's like a literal trophy that like Lego will send you. Like that stuff is really cool. Silver play button. No, 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 that's not it. But yeah, it looks like this. And then when you hit 1 million subscribers, you get that, but it's like a gold version. It's the gold play button. But I mean, that stuff is really cool. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you guys want to do? Anything? Again, we've done this for over an hour. I'm actually like an hour and 10 minutes now, so that's very nice. Again, thank you all for actually taking time out of your day to watch this live stream. I hope that it's been relatively entertaining and interesting for all of you. Um, yeah, again, just like something interesting. flash, like, I'll put him on, like, this table, and I'll put, like, newspaper down because birds actually poop a lot. But he'll just chew on, like, cardboard all day, and he has, like, food and water to drink and eat from, but he loves chewing on that stuff, so it'll be very peaceful there, and sometimes he'll be so quiet, I'll actually forget that he's even there. But he's nice. Okay, is there anything else you guys wanna say? Anything else you wanna do? USS Arizona, if I upload a video, then first probably make my custom P30. You have a custom P38? What is it, like a Lego built P38? If you can build it with Cobi pieces, you may use in your future videos. Yeah, I mean, that'd be very cool. If you do upload that, let me know and I'll watch it. Oh yeah, Lego, yes. Yeah, that sounds really cool, actually. Yeah, I have their old P38 from like 5 or so years ago. Um, but that sounds really cool that you made a custom one. Captain Alex, can you do a tutorial on how to build a Challenger's shuttle? I haven't actually built a Challenger shuttle. I, if I were to do that, I probably wouldn't create a custom one as Lego has done the space shuttle. So I just buy one of those. Yeah, Lego has stuff like that. Wow, that is $200. Or they have like cheaper ones that are like $50 or so. Yeah, if I were to do that, oh yeah, that one's just $9, like the 3-in-1. I wouldn't do a custom thing for that, but if I were to, I mean, I wouldn't. It's about the same size as the Matchbox P38 from USS Arizona. Matchbox, yeah, like Matchbox and Hot Wheels, I think. Let me just see what you're referencing. Matchbox P38. Oh wow, you did that custom? Wow, that is really small. I can't imagine what it looks like in Lego because with Lego, like when you get down to it super small, really you're just left with a bunch of squares. So it looks very like blocky and chunky. Like with my Hindenburg, it's like an airship, so it's like very like round and like oval basically, and like, but it's just a bunch of blocks, so it looks like, yeah, like that basically. Yeah, that sounds really cool. I will say it uses the illegal building techniques. Yeah, to attach the tail to the prong things and the tail fins to the tail. The illegal. Yeah, so for some of my like custom ships, such or like, custom sets in general, such as the Britannic, I did kind of like cheat a bit using like the sticky putty that I have. Where is it? But yeah, I would use like the sticky putty and I'd just basically like put that on one block and then use another block. I'm sorry, but in that scale, I couldn't do much else. Oh, no worries at all. But yeah, definitely upload a video of it. That it sounds really cool. I wonder how will you do a stop motion the Britannic Rack expedition? Um, I mean, like I did do the Raise the Titanic video, but I don't really know what the plot of a Britannic wreck would be. Because if I have no plot, like I can't really film much. I mean, I could do that if you have like a whole like because again, if you go on my channel on the about page, you can click on my email, so you can send me like whatever you want. But if you have like a idea on like how the whole movie should play out, send that to me and then I'll consider it. But I just I don't know what it'd be because it's just like the people are there and like you have like the shipwreck and it's just like they swim around, I guess. I just don't know what exactly I would film for that, if that makes sense. Okay, so do you guys have anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to do? Otherwise, I mean, I could close it the stream here. Anything else, guys? Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream now. Oh, actually, if you can, you could put a comment telling me what to use for editing and how to upload, unless you want to tell me now. Um, so for me, what I use for my movies, and again, if you go look back at the history of TreeBark, you'll see that like my first like dozen or like 2 dozen videos, they're all basically silent films. It was just music. There wasn't like sound effects and that stuff. But it's very simple because you don't again don't have to spend a lot of money. But what I would recommend if you're doing stop motion, um, get the stop motion studio app. You can also like I upgraded from the studio app to the pro, but if you can, definitely get the pro app. It's like $5 a one-time purchase, but it's great because in the app, that's like where you can film, and then you can do basic. I have $60 and I'm not spending a penny. So again, the basic app is free, but if you do want to like, if you really do have like a somewhat of a passion or you just want to like get into it, look at that. You can see my face, two faces. But again, it costs, oh, oops, it literally costs just $5 to buy, and it's definitely worth it. But let's see for filming, like if you look up like how to like film blank, like stop motion, there's a lot of tutorial videos on YouTube. And for editing, you can look up the same thing, like how to mask out stuff, like when like you color like say the rigging to hold up an airplane. Like if you have an airplane here and you have the rigging for it, like how to make this all look like green so you can like edit it out so it looks like it's in the sky. You can look up that on YouTube. But for the app that when I first started, because you sound like you don't want to like spend a lot of money, which I totally get. That's again what I did when I first started. It's only now that I'm monetized, I make like enough money to actually be able to afford like a couple paid things, nothing like a subscription. But when I first started, again, I used the stop motion studio app on my iPad at the time, and then also the YouTube Studio app. Because with that, you could add like music and that sort of things to it. But really, like you should, if you're first starting, do not really spend any money. What you want to do is focus on the actual stop motion, like really like harness and like practice the actual skill of making it look smooth, learning about like camera movements, just really basic stuff like that. Like things like editing, those get much more complex, and you want to focus on each thing one at a time. Otherwise, you're gonna get like tangled in this huge spider web and you'll get overwhelmed and it's just not gonna go well. So again, look at my first few videos because you'll see that like each one of them, I did something new. Each one of them got a little bit better because it was just a lot of practice. And then when I was ready, then I started to use like much more like intense editing practice and skill. Okay, let's see. Mr. Stalum, hi, hello. Hello, hello. Let's see. Forgot to ask, how did your Top Gun movies do? Which one's more popular, the original or the Maverick Cheebuck one? So the original one, when I first released it, that was in August of 2021. It did well. Like I did a what was that? I did a premiere for it, but it basically was just like flat, like say like each day got like one additional view. But then once Top Gun Maverick was released, it literally no joke went from this to just completely vertical. So that movie, I got like thousands of views within like every single hour. It was doing insanely well. So it was actually at that point because if I had known how well it would have done, I would have done a Maverick or another Top Gun movie ahead of time. But once I saw, wow, this movie's actually doing very well, I should start another one. By the time I released my like sequel Top Gun, a lot of like that like momentum and a lot of like the whole like hype about it kind of like died down a bit. So the sequel didn't do as well, but it did like perform very well, like a standard video. But my original did the best. Okay, let's see. Hello, I just joined. Hello again, Mr. Stahlhelm. Deutschland, ja, Deutschland. In the first live stream, I talked about a boat called the Valley Camp. The boat actually has the two lifeboats from the Edmund Fitzgerald. That's actually interesting, History Doc. Oh, yeah, wasn't on the last live stream we were doing, like, trivia and stuff about, the Great Lakes, and it sounded like you knew a lot of stuff about that, if I remember correctly? Captain Alex, okay, I'm about to catch up on other streams. Catch you later. Bye, Captain Alex. I know that there's other YouTubers out doing live streams right now, like what's his name? Oceanliner Designs and Illustrations, and Sam from he's actually gonna be doing stuff in an hour once he starts his stream. Yeah, the original got 256,000 views. Yeah, so yeah, my original Top Gun video, it literally went like completely vertical, and then like as soon as all that momentum wore off, it just went straight again. With every now and again, like it'll have like a bump and with like some slight growth. But again, you can really like if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, you cannot predict the algorithm. You have no idea what videos. Like randomly all at once, I started promoting my USS Yorktown video. Just suddenly overnight, that video starts like from like this to like a nice growth. It's just completely random. So just make stuff that you enjoy and that your audience will enjoy. That's all I can really say. Oh, cool. Shark Travel is about to go live in about now. Yep. But I'm gonna stay here. Thank you. What was your favorite? What was my favorite? What history doc? History doc. I will change my name and try stop motion building. You don't have to change your name if you don't want to. But yeah, again, like stop motion is a lot of fun, and it's like a huge like passion. And again, like every now and again, like I'll binge all of my videos, or even like one or two, and it's like, wow, like it's really amazing that I did this because it looks like an actual like movie, and you see like the progression over time. History doc. Oh, what's my favorite movie I've made? Um, I mean, there's a lot I really enjoy, like my Top Gun. That was like a big like high for me, or then things like my Hindenburg that I was really proud with, or things like just like my Jurassic Park, like the 42nd one. That one was a lot of fun. I don't really know. Things like my Britannic that I was like so proud of because I made the whole Britannic custom. I guess I'll do the Britannic as my favorite. But again, I really love all of the videos for the most part. Oh yeah, your favorite was the Hindenburg. Yeah, the Hindenburg actually did very well. It's actually funny because oftentimes I would think like, oh, this video isn't like that good. Like by the time I'm done with it, I'm more like worried like what could I have done better to make this like look better, in my opinion. But then once I released it, you all like love those videos. It's like, wow, that's very impressive. Like, well then like because again, like as you like I improve over time. Oh, I accidentally pressed the send button. Oh, don't worry. But, like, as you improve over time, like, you look back and you see, "Ugh," like, "Wow, I could have, like I made, like, a lot of mistakes there," like, because you improve and it's like, what I wanna do now is to make my videos more entertaining, more engaging, like, more, like, action stuff, because I know that there's a lot of you who've been saying, like, "Hey, Treebark, I don't really like these memes and jokes that you put in. It ruins, like, the feel of the video." So I'm like, "Okay." So, I'll remove those, but it's also, like because on YouTube, once you, like, get into, like, your own channel, you'll really notice this. Every second, you're competing for the viewer's attention. Like, if the viewer is bored for 1 second, they're gonna click on another video. There's absolutely no loyalty. So you really have to keep people engaged constantly. Like, in, like, the first 10 seconds of, like the first 30 seconds of any video are the most crucial because you can lose, like, up to, like, half of your viewers within just the 30 seconds. Okay, is there anything else from you guys? Anything else? Anything else you wanna ask me? Anything else you wanna say? Anything else you wanna see or do? Nah. Nah, nah. Okay, so, with that being said, thank you all for joining me today. Again, thanks, guys, I really mean it. For privacy reasons, I'm not gonna say my specific age, but, you can obviously guess at my age and from my posts that I've done in the community. again, I'm not gonna say what my age is, but you can have your own like uh, thoughts. Like I am in high school. Like I did a community post the other week because the actual like US Navy came to my high school to try to like recruit kids to join the Navy. Um but yeah, I respect that. Because again, like on like the internet, there's always like a bunch of like you end up finding creepy people every now and again who like want all the personal information. So again, that's also why I'm wearing these sunglasses. That way you can't exactly see my full identity. So again, privacy. That's just about 9. Are you German, Mr. Stahlhelm? Or do you just like writing German stuff? Interesting. Yes. Okay. Wait, yes, you're German? Yeah, okay, yes, you're German. I respect your decision because creeps, insecurity, etc. Yeah, again, like if especially if you're somebody like under 18 on the internet, you just have to be extra careful. Or even just anybody in general, like, there's always a thing like, oh, like, you gave them your password, now you wanna give them, like, your Social Security, like, all that private stuff. You just wanna, like, watch out what you do. Because, again, like, you guys can obviously see my face, you can see that I'm a real person, but if I see, like, Billy Bob Jr. on, like, the internet, I only see the name, I don't actually know the person, or even if that's the person at all, it could be a complete, like, bot. Oh, born in Germany. Mr. Salam. Do you still live in Germany? Or did you, like, move to another country? No, okay, so you still live in Germany. Cool. Yeah, again, like, that's, like, one of the really, like, cool and fascinating things about, like, YouTube. You meet people from all over the world, like, there'll be people from, like, the US who'll watch your videos, people from Germany, from, like, Indonesia, from, like, South America, from, like, France, Poland, Russia. Like, it's just really cool like that in today's world you could be anybody and you could be like basically like a mini celebrity and you just have like people all over the world who will watch your content and can all enjoy it, especially for stuff like mine, because my stuff it's not like a lot of speaking, like you don't have to understand English to watch it, because in general you can see like okay, like tanks are fighting each other, wow, this is fun. So move to US. Oh, so you now live in America. Okay. Well, welcome to America. Oh, actually. Sometimes, like, he'll scratch, like, his head with, like, his foot, it's, like, really funny, but it must feel, like, good for him as, like, a nice itch. He's probably so confused while I'm talking to, like, this screen. Okay, so, again, thank you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thanks, everybody, for joining me on this live stream, thanks. Nice bird, very cute, yeah. Again, he's a cockatiel from Australia. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me today on this live stream. Thank you for supporting me for the past 2 years now. I really couldn't do any of this without your support. It's all of your like input and influence on this channel that's helped me grow. And yeah, I hope to see you guys soon for the 10,000 subscriber live stream. And until then, bye guys. Oh, you also have pepper. It's very nice. Can't wait to see Pearl Harbor video. Keep up the great work. Hope to see more people here next time. Yeah, like again, like I posted the community post like 2 weeks ago for like when you guys want the timing to be, just so that way like people have advanced timing. But I know that there'll probably be like some people who like click on like the rewatch. But again, thank you guys for like really sticking here the whole time, or even if you pop in and out for just like a couple minutes. Good. Bye guys. Thank you for supporting TreeBark. Thank you for being here today. And yeah, keep watching videos. Toodles. Click.